Hi, Assalamu alaikum, sayonara, namaste, ahlan wa sahlan. This is Mahwash Ajaz. You're watching me on the Expat Story, watching me on Spotify, listening to me on Spotify, and watching me on the YouTube channel or wherever my voice is reaching you. As always, I'm bringing to you expat stories from the Middle East to wherever, like I said, my voice is reaching. And I'm joined by somebody today who I've worked very closely with. He's an ex-colleague, he's a friend, current friend, ex-colleague. We've had our share of tiffs, and I would have probably, when we were working together, and I would have thought I would be sitting here in this place talking to him, interviewing him. But like many of us South Asians, he's had a trajectory of his own. Mr. Abhishek Sengupta, you may have seen him from Katie's Morning Chat. Abhishek, hi.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Expat Story.
You've just nailed it. I mean, I never imagined few years down the line we'll be sitting having a casual chat at these times.
At these times. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Crazy times we are in. As we are recording, guys, so UAE and the Middle East in general is under attack by Iran, and there's a US, Israel, Iran thing going on. And Abhishek is currently reporting for NDTV.
Yeah, I've been doing that. I mean, I think I've taken it up as a moral responsibility. Like you rightly said, we're all long-time expats, and I think it's our time to give back to this beautiful city.
Absolutely.
And when you see the barrage of misinformation, not the missiles, but the misinformation, I think you need to stand up.
That's another kind of missile that's been dropping on the world.
That's deadlier.
Yeah, that's deadlier. And I think that I've been talking a lot about how narratives are shaped, and it's so important to set the record straight, and you're doing such a great job on that. Before we get into that, tell me your expat story. Where did it all begin? Why did you move to the UAE?
Yeah, that's a long time back. In fact, I was just talking to a friend this morning. A lot of our close circle friends, members of closed groups are actually quite panicking at this point in time. And some of them, I won't lie, have been considering back of their mind, thinking of going back. And when you think like that, you think why you came in the first place. And to answer your question, I think you're quite used to this story. You come with a 2-year plan, and that stretches. It's happened for me as well. I mean, I'm no exception. I came here in 2007. I was actually a rookie broadcast journalist back in India. You know, headlines today, the channel doesn't exist anymore. It used to be part of the India Today group. Delhi. Yeah. Okay. So I studied there. I'm from Calcutta, but I moved. In fact, funnily enough, I moved to Delhi with dreams of one day working for NDTV. NDTV is India's answer to BBC. Well, they're not kind of doing the journalism you would like these days. But back in the day, Prannoy Roy was an idol in journalism. He started NDTV just before the Gulf War. So it was India's answer to BBC. And I always wanted to work. So from Calcutta, I moved to Delhi to study, and then got into journalism. 2-3 years down the line, suddenly, I get this offer from Dubai. 10 Sports, which is still very big in Pakistan. But in India, I think it went defunct about 12-13 years ago.
Oh, really?
But 10 Sports was big because it
back in my day, 10 Sports was huge.
It had all the rights to more than half of the cricket playing world. So I got a brilliant offer. I said, oh, Dubai sounds interesting. I was just about 24, 25. We always wanted to move abroad, and I thought this was a great sort of gateway to that. Step forward in the right direction. I was not even married. This is just 6-7 months before I was about to start a family, and I came here with an open mind, and I remember when I first came here, I was a very different person in terms of my, I had a whole mind shift. And that only happens when you go to a place and when you get exposed to people from other cultures, other countries. And I still see when I meet Pakistanis who've just come, and we perceive each other, as Hindi mein kehte hain na, Urdu mein kehte hain, hum jo hai, we're always at war. Right? But that's not the case here.
No.
And that's how you open up to cultures. So long story short, I came here in 2007 with an open mind, nothing much in hand, with just about a 2-year plan, and that's now stretched on to 20 years.
20 years. You've been in Dubai for 20 years.
2007 I complete
So
20.
that's, yeah,
At
2027
I
you'll
complete
20
Yeah,
years.
yeah,
My
yeah,
God.
yeah.
That's a lifetime.
It's a lifetime.
It's a lifetime.
I grew wise here. I mean, I was naive. I got married. I had my child.
What was
here.
the negative perception you had that if I meet a Pakistani, he's definitely going to be like this, but then it just switched when you met? Myself excluded. We didn't get
Oh
over
yeah,
that.
you are an exceptional Pakistani in every sense of the word. But honestly speaking, I mean, I didn't really have any particular negative feeling per se. But you know, when you come from India or Pakistan, you consume the news that you're fed, right? And you have no other exposure. You don't really meet real people. You see, I mean, even right now as we speak, people are seeing visuals, so-called visuals of this attack.
Yeah.
And in their mind, they've already
Have a notion.
Yeah. In their
Yeah.
mind, they've already decided that Dubai is under attack and
Yeah.
everything's fires raging
Falling
everywhere.
apart, yeah.
Yeah. But that's not true.
Yeah.
So until 2007, I was only exposed to the media that I had back home. Pakistanis will be difficult customers, and generally Arab world is difficult. Also, there's also a religious connotation which increasingly, and now it doesn't, that barrier for me today does not exist.
Absolutely. That's what Dubai does.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember this is Ramadan, and not today particularly, but over the last 15 years, I have steadfastly, I've kept a whole day's fast at least
Wow.
twice every Ramadan.
Lovely.
And this is the whole process. Like I woke up at suhoor, did suhoor, went to bed, and I've done this, and I've done this out. No one's told me to do. It's almost like a lot of people are asking me back home, why are you guys putting up this show of patriotism and love for Dubai? Has anyone told you? No one's told you to do. No one tells you to do these things.
No.
Yeah.
It comes from within.
Exactly.
It comes from your heart. I think that one thing which I absolutely love about the UAE, it isn't just India and Pakistan, it's so many other cultures also that you didn't realize that they were just generally lovely people, because you have this notion in your head. And I will tell you that as a Pakistani, I've never had, I think it's also me as an exception, is not an exception, but like a group of people in Pakistan who still have family in India. Like I still have family in India. I still have family in Allahabad or in Balia, because my my father was born in Balia, UP.
Okay,
Bihar. He was born in Bihar.
Yeah.
So
I grew up in Bihar.
Oh, you grew up in Bihar. So he was born in Balia,
Wow.
and then they moved later when the partition happened and everything. So for me, like until the 80s, he was still going to go. He would still visit. He went to Delhi. He went to Bombay. At that time it was Bombay. So he's been to these places. So I've heard stories that India's like this and India's like that, and flan our friend in India, flan our relative in India used to give us this was the kind of food we ate. But I think that wasn't the same case not for a lot of people, although I do remember there was a time when there were a lot of Indian people who did come for literature festivals and things like that, but recently obviously that's not the case. What I want to ask you about your expat story is that there is a huge cultural shock in general for a lot of people.
Yeah.
How much was that? Because there are a lot of Indians here. So, and one of the things I love about the UAE is that you feel at home immediately.
Yeah.
It isn't like the US or the UK where it takes time. Although now it's still a huge population there as well. But in the UAE, it doesn't really figure that out.
Yeah, I mean, the way I sum up to people who may not quite know Dubai well is basically it brings the best of both worlds. Like you rightly said, US and UK are still the first world.
Yeah.
This has got first world infrastructure.
Yeah.
And it sort of blends in with third. I don't want to use. I mean, I'm not using it disparagingly.
Developing world.
Let's
I guess you could say,
emerging economy ke jo, you have the luxuries. You could afford it here. Which you can't in the UK. You could very well have a driver, a gardener, a help here, which things that you can't imagine in the UK or the US.
What's it like raising a kid here? You have a daughter.
Yeah. Let's start with the negative side, and negative in a good way. I'll tell you why. They're so spoilt. They are so
Used to certain safeties.
Yeah, that they are not fit for the wider world.
Yeah.
And it's a challenge for me.
Yeah.
My daughter is in year 10. She goes to year 11 next year. And gradually in 2 years' time, she has to, there will come a time when we'll have to think of sending her somewhere.
Yeah.
Dubai is great. When you talk about higher education, it's as expensive as the UK and the US.
It is.
Now, I can't send her back to India. Of course, cost-wise, it's much cheaper, a fraction of what it would cost here. But then she's not prepared for India. For her, India is now an alien world.
Yeah.
She knows nothing about India. She can't.
She was born here.
She came here when she was 6 months old.
So basically,
actually 4 months old. Yeah.
Basically, just
yeah.
She's a Dubai kid.
She's a proper Dubai kid, and she's got friends from Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Algeria, France.
Yeah.
The whole world.
All over the world. Yeah.
And this is the best thing about Dubai. I mean, again, when I say this, I feel like I'm just parroting something that everyone talks about, but it's true.
It is
I
true.
mean, you can't imagine this exposure to the whole wide world sitting in India, Pakistan, or anywhere else.
Yeah, absolutely. Abhishek, when we look at the landscape of media changing, and it has changed a lot since I'm sure the time you came to and we've had these conversations when we were working together as well, that you had those certain things you can only do for TV and certain things you can only do for digital. That doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
That landscape and that infrastructure doesn't exist anymore. How has Dubai changed over the past 20 years when it comes to the media?
A whole world has changed. It's taken a whole new turn. I won't say 360, then it goes back to the same.
No. It's like a new planet.
It's a new planet maybe. I'll tell you, I mean, when I came here in 2007, Gulf News or a Khalij Times, I mean, I've been lucky to work with both and spend quite a bit of time with each. They were about 72 pages long or wide or big, every single day.
Wow.
That edition today has come down to 14 pages.
Yeah.
So it shrunk to a fifth. And suddenly you don't have editions on a Saturday and a Sunday. So you can imagine how the world of media shrunk. At the same time, digitally, it's exploded. Now, everybody, almost like India and Pakistan and rest of the world, everybody with a smartphone today has become a journalist.
Yeah.
What I'm worried about is how more and more people are becoming so-called journalists with less and less accountability. And that worries me, which is especially at a time like this.
Yeah,
and titles are shrinking, pages are shrinking, newsrooms are shrinking. You've seen that, Mahwash. You and I shared a newsroom for years, months together, and it's
changed. And one thing which I also want to talk to you about is this age of the influencer, and when influencers are given more weight than an actual journalist, because he may not have these many followers, or they may not be like posting TikTok videos every day. When you look at the shifting weights on what people believe to be the truth, they will believe possibly a influencer and not a journalist. What would you say to the people who are consuming these news? I mean, we know on this side of the fence, we know how the newsroom is shrinking. It was 72 pages, now it's 14 pages. What would you say to the people who are watching more, consuming us also now as proverbial content creators?
Yeah, content creators is a good term. I would say, I in fact tell people that avoid them like plague, and instead of plague I call them influenza.
Same.
Yeah, so they're not influencers, they're influenza for me. And
some of them, not all.
Honestly speaking, I would get influenced by someone like a Shah Rukh Khan, a Barack Obama, or I don't know, Robert Kiyosaki. For example, I'm just saying, they are the real influences of the world, in fact, I just came across someone, I'm forgetting his name. I think he's a Sri Lankan or an Indian based in Australia. And he's been giving some real insight into the world economically. For me, these are influencers. But the sad reality is that everybody gets branded as an influencer. They're not. They're just popular content creators. It's the sad reality. I mean, I work in a space where I'm also, sort of helping companies formulate their strategy, media strategy. And as part of that job, I often get asked, "Oh, what influencer do you need?" And a random radio jockey, for me, I'm sorry, is not an influencer. He might help further a message, help reach that to a wider audience, but that's it. I mean, Mahwash, you and I have worked in Khalij Times.
Yeah.
Of course, you're very popular personally in your personal space. I have chosen to keep my personal space very personal. And my daughter jokes, I've got some 817 followers on Insta. My daughter's got thrice of that. And she said, "Oh, but nobody knows you." But the other day, some of her friends spotted me reporting on NDTV and sent those clips to her. And then she realized, oh, perhaps her dad is a little more famous than she thought. So, yeah, that sometimes makes me wonder. I mean, some of my videos have gone viral, 5 million, 10 million views.
Yeah, it used to happen constantly at Khalij Times.
Yeah, and people recognize me on the streets.
Yeah.
But personally speaking, I am nobody. I'm just 800 followers on Insta.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, that there is such a huge contrast between what an actual journalist does and then the reach they have, the impact they have. So I think that the meaning of impact has sort of changed
it
now.
Has, yeah. It has.
But the work that you and I do, or journalists like us do, I'm very comfortable with broadcast, but a lot of journalists have had to shift their gears to become broadcast journalists in order to be a part of that race.
Exactly.
So what would you say to the journalists who are struggling to do that? Because you're comfortable with both mediums.
Yeah. Like you, I mean, and in fact, it's a sorry state of affairs for a lot of old school journalists who've perhaps spent their 30 years of their lifetime just writing for pages.
On the desk.
Yeah, making pages, designing pages, and it is a struggle for them.
Yeah.
And I've always told them, try and diversify. Mahwash, I started off as a print journalist back in 2005. Times of India, the largest sold English daily in the world. I thought I would travel the world just writing, and in about a year and a half I moved to television with no formal training in TV journalism. I learnt on the job. Some things that nobody teaches you. You've got to be open to doing things. And because of that TV stint, I came to Dubai as a broadcaster in 10 Sports. That job led me to 4 years in the ICC, where I was producing cricket. It's a shame I don't watch cricket now. It's been 15 years.
You don't watch cricket anymore?
Absolutely.
Why not?
That's another story. We can have another episode. And I'm happy to bash cricket and tell you why.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't watch. I mean, as a form of protest.
But India is at the top of its cricket game.
That is the problem I have with.
Makes no sense.
Makes a lot of sense if you're a sports fan. What happens in India is, we're just meandering a bit, but very quickly, the beef I have with cricket, especially cricketers who play for India and the guys who run the game in India, I have a big problem with them.
Okay.
They're monopolizing the game in a way that it has not grown. Look at the money that they get. And look at how all of this is concentrated in one place. The game's not grown. I mean, 30 years ago when I started watching cricket, you had 4.5 teams playing cricket. It's still the same. Tell me a fifth team that's good enough to compete.
Not for now. It's just the same 4 or 5 teams.
Yeah. That shows how cricket has not grown, and I have a problem. It's not only stifled the growth of the game globally, it's also stifled the growth of sport in India. We've got genuine talent in other sports, tennis, wrestling, boxing. Talk
Hockey.
about Neeraj Chopra in javelin, hockey. What's happening? Nobody gives a damn about the FIFA, India's under 17 women's team is on the verge of qualifying for the World Cup. Nobody knows.
Nobody. You're telling me this.
Yeah, nobody
knows.
knows.
We know everything that Virat Kohli does, but nothing about those kids.
And I absolutely, as a form
But that's sad, because as a Pakistani, my biggest problem with the way Indian cricket is being handled is when it becomes political.
Yeah.
I do not think games should.
Oh,
be
of course, yeah.
That
That's
is
also another
just
side.
should be. It should just be away from it's a sport.
Yeah.
Let's keep it. And I remember there was a time where there was great rivalry between, and still is, between India and Pakistan.
Yeah, but that's
That's
dying.
on the field.
Yeah.
You could always see a Shoaib
Yeah.
Akhtar and a Harbhajan Singh sitting.
Oh, they
on
would
Kapil
break
Sharma.
bread together.
Yeah, sitting on Kapil. I was
Yeah.
just watching a clip yesterday. Kapil
So,
Sharma.
Mahwash, I work very closely with the ILT20, which is UAE's, version of the IPL or PSL, if you like. And some of these former stars, they
they regularly are here,
keep dropping in as commentators, brand ambassadors. So you have the Shoaib Akhtar. Shoaib Akhtar was there last season. This year we had Wasim and Walker.
Wasim,
and from our side you have Harbhajan and Sabah Kareem. These are not really big stars, but yeah, they all, they're friends.
Of course they are.
Yeah. And that is what we miss as a genuine cricket fan.
Yeah.
So I have a massive problem with...
No, because for me it's just that you had that no handshake thing, and I was like, that's ridiculous.
It's cringe.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Cringe.
Absolutely.
Which is why I do not support my men playing cricket. Women, okay, but... and also I have a problem. And this has existed for a long time now. This demigod,
status,
superstar, worship, I mean, they don't even earn a pittance when you compare their salaries to the English Premier League footballers. What are you so proud of? You are winning and beating 4 teams in a World Cup and lifting a trophy you're calling the World Cup. I mean, for me it's no big deal.
It's a joke. Yeah, it's a joke compared to what happens in the football.
Yeah.
Are you a football fan?
I am. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What city? What club do you support?
So Arsenal, North London. Yeah, and I've spent a lot of money going to London last 3 summers.
I've seen your pictures. Yeah.
Hoping to see Arsenal win the trophy. That's not happened.
Yeah.
Hopefully this year, but. Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, because I know that because my husband and my brother are both crazy football fans. So my husband loved Manchester United for a time.
Okay.
I think my brother is a Chelsea supporter. I don't know.
Okay.
But they're crazy.
Yeah.
It's like
my sympathies with both clubs. They're not doing too well at the moment.
Which one is Kevin De Bruyne?
Oh, Kevin De Bruyne, actually, Belgian, that's how it's pronounced.
Yeah.
He used to be with Man City. He's now moved to Italy.
Okay, so my brother is a huge fan.
Yeah.
So he's always like you, going to watching these
he
messages.
Was a beast,
watching these matches and everything. And I'm like, you guys are crazy. Like, I don't understand football. I love cricket. Like you, I was a huge cricket fan. I used to be obsessed with cricket. I remember when it was the 1999 World Cup. I think. I remember I had a little diary at that time. We all used to have diaries.
Oh, you had a great team, I remember.
Oh, Inzi,
Wasim,
Waqar, Moeen.
I mean, I had massive respect for that team.
Oh, that team was
And we were genuinely scared of Pakistan.
Yeah, of course. They were beasts.
डर खत्म हो गया है.
क्यों होगा? क्या कर रहे हैं हम लोग ऐसा? And I'm telling you,
which is a shame for the game.
That is my problem. And when your side, when you have that, I have this problem. I feel like we genuinely do not have those level of cricketers like an Imran or a Inzimam or a Saklan or a Moeen, Wasim, Waqar, all of these guys. And even
all 11.
And even after that time, you had a Shahid Afridi who was like a scary person.
Of course.
You had Asif,
Mohammad Asif, Mohammad Amir.
And the kind of scandals that happened and all the other crazy things that happened in that team. And now we thought we'd had a ray of hope with Babar Azam, and he's been so utterly disappointing. So for
I haven't even seen him bat once. The last proper match I saw was 2007 World Cup. The T20 World Cup.
I think I remember watching. I remember watching. There was this one ICC T20 that we won, and I was like, it was against India or something or some place. I don't know. It was a huge thing. So for me, that one of those last the rage against the dying of the light ended with that, because I was like, okay, I give up. Even until I think PSL started, there was some excitement towards the players, and sometimes you'd see like Pakistan India when our players were part of the IPL. But after that, I think
Yeah. It's a shame they don't play. I mean, 2008,
Yeah.
I remember Shoaib Akhtar was part of Kolkata Knight Riders.
So
My
true.
city, my
Can
team.
Can you imagine that happening now?
You had Akhtar, you had Ganguly. You know, what camaraderie, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
that is what cricket, they've just completely, I absolutely, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on air, but the way the people run the sport in India, I mean, they're one big reason why I stay away.
I think it has a lot to
It's
do with
cringe for me.
politics being a part of a
Yeah,
sport that should be
yeah,
absolutely apolitical.
yeah.
Absolutely apolitical. But coming back to what we've witnessed in the past couple of days, I think in the UAE is that everybody has come together regardless of their differences in these kind of things. And that's what I think that the world needs to learn a bit more. Abhishek, when you look at your experiences, when we look at cultures and how they shape mindsets, do you sometimes feel that the more we are exposed to social media, sometimes some people tend to get a lot more, I don't know, radicalized, I would say, instead of,
It's a
being,
possibility, yeah.
right? Like, I feel like sometimes social media is just not doing the good job that it should
No,
have.
it never does the good job, I think.
It does sometimes, I think. Don't you think?
Well, I know you are a social media content creator, so you have your side, but I think I wish we could do a social experiment, ban social media for a week.
For a week.
And see what difference it makes. I don't think we'll lose out much. Okay, by the way, funnily enough, I've done that to myself. So I'm off Facebook.
Okay.
7 months now.
Okay.
I deactivated my account.
Okay.
And I deleted the app from my phone. So
Okay.
I'm off Facebook completely.
ठीक है.
First 2 days, 3 days, I had this withdrawal symptom, as if, and it is like an addiction.
There is a research on it. The part of your brain that is activated when there is an actual drug addiction. It's the same part of your brain that's addicted to social media.
It is a fact. But yeah, I've done well now. 6 months plus. I haven't looked back. I don't care what's happening, who's posting what. And I think I'm going to do that soon with Instagram. Another reason why it stirs me up is there are a lot of people doing great content, and I look at them, salute. When I see a lot of cringe content that goes, anything goes, and then I feel, oh, I should have done better, but I have not done myself. That's also another, it's like a sort of tap on my shoulder saying that you should have done, you're not doing.
What, be a part of that race?
No, yeah, sometimes, we're all humans, right? I mean, personally speaking, I've been to 70 countries. I've got so much content in my phone, in my SD cards. I have just not had that inner pull to work on those and put it out there for the masses. And when I look at some travel bloggers doing some content which is average, I feel
why didn't you do that?
Yeah.
You could have done that better.
Yeah, I could have. I definitely could have.
Yeah, but you didn't.
I didn't. Yeah, it's on my phone. I've got, last year I went to 10 new countries, in a 12-month period. Some amazing places, amazing content, videos, photos. Kuch bhi nahi hai. I haven't posted it.
What was the most stunning experience you had in all of these places that you've been to?
Oh, I think for me, it's always an eye-opener. When you travel, the more you see, the more you learn, the more you know, the more you realize the people are the same, they feel the same.
It's all the human condition.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just that, the languages are different, the cultures are different. Last year I spent almost a month in Norway. I was in a city called Stavanger, which is the oil capital of Scandinavia and north of Europe. People, average Norwegian, they're nice. Then I traveled down south to Italy. People are nice. They're rude. For me, what I'm fascinated most about is when I actually study people, how they come across, their demeanor, their gestures. I joke around in our country, people down south are really nice, they're not aggressive, they're polite, and possibly it comes from their, roots. They're very rooted to their culture, family,
Their land.
education. It's not quite the same always in North, okay? And maybe when you go back in history, again, I'm saying something that could be very controversial, and I'm not making sweeping statements
Which
here.
is a theory, possibly.
It's just a theory, because see, in North, people come from, it also possibly has got to do with the landscape that you were born in, maybe very rugged, you've had to work hard, do a bit of farming, agriculture. I'm talking about 3 generations ahead of us.
Yeah.
So it's not been easy. So maybe survival in the heat and dust of the northern plains, the deserts.
The harshness of weather.
Exactly.
Added
Maybe
to the nature.
that sort of blends in with who you are.
Yeah,
3
yeah.
generations down the line. And I've found people in the north are generally very aggressive. The Italians के साथ भी वैसा है, बात करेंगे very aggressive. मैं कहा अरे ये जाट sounds like a jat. In India, I went to, so for me, my bigger culture shock was not coming to Dubai from India. My bigger culture shock was going to Delhi from Calcutta. So Calcutta is a city of, हम लोग, we're known for being softly spoken.
Yeah.
We are very rooted in our culture, academics, books, literature. And then you go to a city like Delhi where everyone's trying to scam you every other second.
Is it like Rocky or Rani ki, that movie that
Yeah. Oh yes, yeah. It showed up.
The Ranveer and the Alia dynamic.
Oh yeah. Brilliant. Yeah. I remember seeing that movie.
Yeah, me too. I saw it in the way.
So it's that. So and I for me, whenever I travel, it's a study. Study of the mannerisms of people.
The culture. The people.
The culture. Why are they? I found Italians so rude. But when you talk to them, they're not really rude. That's the way they talk.
Just the way they're talking.
It's how the Jats in Haryana, I often joke as a cow belt of India. So, ke baat holi bhai? Baat sun meri. So,
and then to your ear, that sounds...
Yeah, for someone from Calcutta or down south, it would be like an aggression. Act of aggression, but well, it may not be.
Yeah. And then what's life like in Calcutta? You've grown up in Calcutta or you...
So initial first 10 years of my life, I was like I said, I was in Bihar, Patna.
Patna, okay.
Yeah.
Patna I've got family in Patna also.
Yeah. Patna again is a very interesting city. Capital of a very interesting state. So Bihar is often ridiculed because it produces most number of migrant workers across India.
Okay.
The affordable labor it all comes from Bihar.
Okay.
Usually construction workers across the country. But at the same time, Bihar also produces most number of bureaucrats who are ambassadors, who are scientists as well. I mean, so academically, Bihar is also at the top. So they fill in both spectrum, you know.
Okay.
They're very opinionated, politically speaking. They're very straightforward. They have a mind of their own. And Bihar is one of the most fragmented, like Uttar Pradesh, neighboring state. Very fragmented politically. 2019, I don't think you joined Khalij Times.
No, I was in Masala at the time. Yeah.
Right. So I was one of the very few journalists on ground in India covering the elections. And I was covering the last phase of India's elections, the largest democratic exercise in the world. I started with my state in West Bengal, moved to Bihar and then UP. Oh my God, this is like, this is the straw that breaks the camel's back, as they say. The last 2 states has got its own mafia, hoodlums, gang wars. I even went to Mirzapur. It's real place in UP.
Oh, wow.
I've covered elections from Mirzapur.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's...
We should have a different podcast on that.
Oh, yeah. I've got
million stories.
Million stories,
Yeah.
You could do a whole series with me.
We should. Because I also want to share... I think that would be such an interesting experience because growing up in Pakistan, I was the other day I was joking with my husband. I said, missiles, I'm very unfazed by that, and he's a bit like, let's talk up on things. And I was like, yeah, okay, like the missile can find me if it needs to. Because I grew up in a very volatile city. I grew up in Karachi, where there was a lot of ethnic, and 90s.
Have you seen Dhurandhar now? I mean, Karachi.
I haven't seen Dhurandhar. Yeah.
I was in India, so I had nothing to do. I went and
you watched Dhurandhar.
Watched Dhurandhar.
Yeah.
And I was always fascinated by Pakistan.
Yeah.
Tell me more. Sorry.
No, but then that's what I'm saying. That Karachi, it's not. Obviously, a lot of whatever I've seen in clips about Liari, a lot of it is accurate, but a lot of it is
of course dramatized
and you know the whole Aditya Dhar universe where Karachi and Pakistanis are all just crazy people. But in the 90s, growing up in Karachi was very, very volatile. You did not know whether my dad was a journalist.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, my dad was a journalist and he was a crime reporter.
Oh wow!
In the 90s in Karachi. And he had this corona.
I won't envy him for that.
No. You could not. So he and a couple of his friends who were part of the same beat. When they left the homes at 6 p.m., we didn't know if they would come back. Wow. That is the kind of reality I grew up in when I was just a kid. I think I was 8 or 9 years old.
Right.
I was born in 1984. So 1992, when there was major operations, military operations happening in Karachi, I was all about 8 years old. I had a 3-year-old younger brother, and my mom and I used to live in this Upar wali story wala ghar, and that was just like I remember on the balcony you would stand and you could hear gunshots, and you would just pray that dad would come home safe. And remember, this is a time of no mobile phones. So the person has gone.
I know.
Gone into the wild.
And for days you don't even hear from him or of him.
So he's now covering crime, and he's covering, and there was a lot of like ethnic and sectarian violence there at the time, Shia, Sunni and all of that. So when like a Shia mosque,
then also Baloch and
so that wasn't really affecting Karachi as such. The Baloch insurgency is happening. It is mostly restricted to Balochistan, but there was a lot of Afghan refugee crisis happening in Karachi. So a lot of the Kalashnikov culture, which didn't exist pre the Afghan war, it became a big part of the Karachi culture the violent culture that happened. So when these things were happening in Dubai, I was like, okay, at least they're keeping us safe. Everything is normal. So I have grown up in a time where things had to be shut down.
Absolutely.
It was shut down.
People in India also kind of some areas like Bihar, UP, Bombay,
which are exposed to those gang violence.
Bombay had riots.
Of course.
So 92, I was not there, but I've heard. So I think both you and I come from a generation that's seen a lot.
That's seen that. And that's seen it in a time where there was no social media, traditional news media. I was the other day I was joking with somebody that we've grown up in the time of dial-up modem.
Oh yeah.
Remember the dial-up modem?
The sounds,
sounds, and you paid like for 1 hour.
Absolutely.
Remember? Like you had to, like broadband was a thing. What do you mean I have internet for the whole 24 hours?
I know.
Now it's like, I always go back to this joke by Louis C.K. which he did on some late night show where he said that, I saw the other day the man sitting next to me in a plane. I was like, the internet is very slow. It's like, give it a minute, you're in the sky. You're using the internet in the sky. So for us, like, that's like unfathomable. And we're like, I think that last generation.
Our next generation will not understand that.
They do not. I think your kid will not understand a world. What do you mean there's no internet? What do you mean I can't access Facebook?
They can do without water and electricity. But they'll definitely...
Not the internet. So Abhishek, what is life now? 20 years have gone by, almost 20 years. What is the future looking like? What do you see the world of media shaping into? Heavy question.
Yeah, it's a heavy question. And, I can only, if I had one word to sum up the media right now, it's scrambled completely. It's like a scrambled egg. It's got no shape. It's got no size.
No form.
No texture. And it's fluid, It's like a runny scrambled egg. Yeah, it's goo. A lot of cheese.
Cringy cheese.
So it's fluid. I mean, you don't know where it's going. But one thing I can surely say that in that chaos, there is still a bit of space and appetite for responsible journalism.
Okay.
And I think times like these prove that. whether people recognize that, whether people understand that, whether people are discerning to realize that, there is a need, I don't know. But I feel that responsible journalism is under threat. Very few people are doing it. Most of the media organizations, anyway. I don't know how free can I be on this podcast?
Go ahead.
I mean, most media organizations are anyway syndicated. They're all part of
conglomerate.
They're part of a group. They have a narrative. Agendas. Which is why sometimes independent journalism is also good. But you don't know whether that person is a journalist, has a sense of responsibility or not, or whether that person is just doing it for the clicks
and the views and the cheap publicity. No, I think that I always feel like, for me, I always want to have a substantial conversation with anybody, no matter where, whether it's in the entertainment sphere or the lifestyle sphere or the news media. But I think that building more on your point is that there is a perspective need. Like, people do want to hear perspective more than they just want to be bombarded with information. Like, I will immediately scroll up if I see something which is telling me the same thing that 3 other people have told me. Or people who are a part of the noise.
Unless somebody is helping me read between the lines.
Or maybe making me think in a different perspective. I think, like, for example, outrage or something or the other happens every day on social media. Falan said falan about falan. And I'm like, okay, you're all reporting the same thing. You're all cashing on that particular eyeball. But I would always sit and listen to somebody like a Dhruv Rathi. Like, when Dhruv talks, I listen, because what he's doing is he's adding not just information, but he's adding perspective to that information that I'm not necessarily, I don't always align with his worldviews in everything. But at least he's offering something substantial based on some amount of homework that he's done.
Exactly.
Rather than just putting the phone, like I review Pakistani dramas sometimes, right? So I don't appreciate anybody who's just put a camera and like, I think that this drama was not good. Why do you think that? Have you been reviewing dramas?
Right.
Have you been watching them? Do you understand what this writer is trying to say? Like, where is the nuance? So I think that is where I think people will understand the difference between somebody who's ranting and somebody who's done their work.
I think, when you go back to the tenets of journalism, the 5 Ws and 1 H, so 5 Ws and 1 H is okay, but why is very important.
Now it is.
A lot of us, we fail to report the why. क्यों हो रहा है? ये attacks क्यों हो रहे हैं?
I don't think that when Jinnah particularly thought of the partition, he thought of it like that. He always thought of it like a European porous border, like you have a Schengen visa and you go here and you go there, and just the way things changed, it just changed completely. And the past 80 years have shown us that I don't know if things will ever be normal, but the fact that in the Middle East you get to break bread together.
Oh, absolutely.
And you don't even think about this as an Indian or a Pakistani.
Never. We've never thought nationalities, religion, caste, creed,
and I
nothing.
can say this in good faith that even when I was fighting with you, I never thought I was fighting an Indian.
Oh, that thought never came. When I fought with you, I mean, the only thought was I'm fighting with a woman, so I got to be careful.
Yeah, you had to be.
But yeah, that's it. I mean, I've never, that never crossed my mind.
Yeah, so.
But yeah, I wish we never fought, and I'm sure it's behind us.
It is completely behind us. We were just, I think there was a lot of pressure. That job comes
that also shows what journalists go through in a newsroom.
I think that you had a lot of pressures. I had a lot of pressures. There were KPIs.
We were both leading the busiest teams in the region. I mean, Khalij Times, the country's longest running English daily.
Oh my God!
I was heading the multimedia. We're heading the social media.
Biggest eyeballs. Khalij Times has the biggest eyeballs, bar none.
And look where they are now. I mean, I look back, I'm very happy.
I am so happy that the changes I made in the social media team are still there. And they have created that change in trajectory for Khalij Times. I'm so happy to see that. And I'm so happy to have this conversation with you, Abhishek. It was such a pleasure to talk to you. I never thought I'd be saying this, but it was a pleasure talking to you, Abhishek.
It has always been a pleasure. talking to you, whether in a fight
Whether in a fight
or
actually
otherwise.
having a worthy adversary is always a pleasure as well. Better,
which is what India and Pakistan are missing in cricket
yeah,
at the moment.
Absolutely, and it's just we have to have a separate podcast on cricket.
Let's do it.
I think we should absolutely, because I, as a cricket fan, miss, like, sometimes I'm watching my TikTok. You know what your algorithm is telling you what you love, right?
Yeah.
And I always get Shoaib Akhtar clips.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
crazy clips where he's breaking bats and the wickets are splitting into. And I'm like, what happened, bro? What happened to this era of Pakistani cricket? Like that, those crazy, Yorkers by Wasim Akhtar.
People were fearful of them. I mean,
I think the only person I feared apart from India or Pakistan was, like, as a bowler, and you're like, wow, it was Muralidharan.
Oh, Murli, acha. Okay.
Muralidharan.
Okay.
He was crazy.
Yeah,
he was crazy.
You never knew which way the ball would go.
I think the most formidable person for me, from what I remember in India, was Sachin Tendulkar.
Okay, I've never been a fan of him.
Who was your favorite cricketer?
Dhoni?
Dhoni.
No. I've met all of them. I've interviewed them. So I love Sehwag. And I'm a fan of Saurav Ganguly because he's from my neck of the woods.
Neck of the woods.
We're from the same neighborhood.
Did you watch that documentary? That was the India-Pakistan.
I haven't seen that yet, but I have to.
So one of the producers of the documentary is a friend of mine.
Okay.
And he used to manage Shoaib Akhtar as well, Taha Sadakat. I don't know if you met Taha as well. I'm sure you must have. You must have, because he was long time Shoaib Akhtar manager.
Because I think I've seen him.
You must have. So Taha and I, when we spoke about it, and he said the exact same thing that you did. That it was such a, and he used to manage Josh also, the band. So he used to say that we used to just, all of it was such a non-issue for us, just sitting together and just like talking and chilling and hanging out, that these rivalries were fun for just the field, and everything else was just like all of us are just sitting together and enjoying that time. I think we need to bring that time back. I really pray that.
I mean, 2 years ago, I came across Bilal Maqsood.
I think he lives here now, I think.
I don't know, but when I saw him, when I heard him, man, I had a man crush. I mean, he is
so lovely,
handsome, drop dead gorgeous, and I think I get attracted.
No, Bilal Maqsood, Bilal, Anwar Maqsood's son. No, he's not based here.
Strings wala. He's not based here. I think he's
Faisal Kapadia is based here.
Faisal is. Faisal, I know. I mean, he's also equally legendary.
Legendary. But Bilal,
Bilal, oh my God, he's tall, he's
skinny, he has that voice, soft voice.
He's got that voice. I think he's doing something with children's.
Yes, he's doing Pakke Dost, which is a children.
Pakke Dost,
and then he's also one of the judges in Pakistan Idol.
Right, he is amazing. I mean, again, and there's no shame in, expressing open admiration for someone you like.
As a Pakistani, I've never shied away from my love
Nazia and Zohaib, back in the day, unki music was amazing. I mean,
and मैं तो miss करती हूँ वो Bollywood. मेरी हमारी फुप्पोएं, my aunts, and we used to sit and we used to watch when Mughal Azam came in color. We used to all sit and marvel at Madhubala, and we were like, oh my God. And she was the benchmark of beauty. Like if you're beautiful, Madhubala. If you're handsome, Dilip Kumar. If you're charming, it's Amitabh Bachchan or Shah Rukh Khan. Or so for us, that Bollywood is gone for us. I miss that Bollywood.
I always felt when it comes to music, Pakistan always had an edge. Always. Food, if you compare...
Food is a controversial topic. Can be. I think Pakistanis have the edge in food as well.
I agree with you.
I think the Indians have an edge on cricket. Indians have an edge on Bollywood, like films. Cinema, nobody can make movies like India can.
Well, they're prolific. I mean, they're like,
but like the
mass producing.
Technical, like whatever my issues with Dhurandhar are aside, but it's technically a very brilliant film.
And when you talk about the entire gamut, South Indian is... South Indian movies
level. And I'll tell you something interesting, and we'll just wrap up after that. That the decline of Pakistani cinema came when Bangladesh was made. Because a big part of our film's literati, our musicians, our lyricists, our poets, our filmmakers
Yeah.
were from Bangladesh, were from
wow,
Bengal.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, so the real decline before 71, Pakistan and Indian cinema were at par.
Right.
Because they were both very popular. There was a lot of cross-border,
Right,
work
right,
as well
yeah.
happening. But they were both at par.
Right.
The real decline happened at the fall
I
of
didn't know.
Dhaka.
That's a learning from me.
Yeah, because
Interesting.
for us, Bangladesh was where all the talent, the literature.
So, my forefathers come from Bangladesh.
I'm
So,
sure they
if Bangladesh and India are playing, and again, I might be branded an anti-national. I have an Indian passport. I support Bangladesh. Not many people will
You do not like Pakistan. Just say it. That will help you.
No, ऐसा नहीं है. I love Pakistan, and I hope people back home in India don't see this and brand me as
it's not the way in the Middle East. People don't think certain people in India who think like differently. It doesn't work like that in the Middle East. In Dubai, we're all friends, we're all pals, we're almost family.
Yeah,
and
we are.
If there is any problem, like I think that like Anamika or Althea, all of these people, they're all Indians.
Oh yeah.
I've told so many people, I said like, I have more Indian friends here than I do Pakistani.
I've got more Pakistani friends, genuine friends,
than India.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Abhishek, for your time, for your kind conversation. We need to do this again because I think there's so much more ground that we can cover.
Absolutely.
Whenever you have time. This seat is more than welcome for you. Guys, don't forget to, I don't know if I should say follow Abhishek. Don't follow Abhishek.
Yeah, you won't find me anyway.
You won't find. He's disappeared off the face of Facebook. But if you see him, support his work. He's one of those good ones. He's doing good journalism, the responsible journalism that we talk about. Abhishek, once again, thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. अपने जान हाथ माल से किसी को नुकसान नहीं पहुंचाइएगा. बहुत ख्याल रखिएगा. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and follow Abhishek's work. Khuda Hafiz. Thank you.
Thank you. Allah Hafiz.